taking turns. The third one was your ABCs. The fourth layer is your core values. So the core value we learned about this morning, respect, listening and following directions, does that make you safer? Yes. So teaching the core values works, and that's another layer of safety. And then the fifth layer is your rules that you already have in class. You already have rules, right? So whatever rules you already have, the rules stay. You don't do away with your own rules. You keep your rules and you add these. So that's the fifth layer. So now there's 5 layers of safety. To go along with that, the kids have to earn the clubs. So, and that's class by class pretty much, because you have some classes that are a lot better than other classes. So they earn the clubs. Once they're listening and following directions, then you can get the clubs out. Once they know how to take turns and all of that, you can start with the clubs. On the same token, you can take clubs away as quick as you give them. You can take it away from the whole class. You can take it away from a station, or just a set of partners, or just a person. However you want it done, you can take it away. And if I've given them a warning and they still are not putting that club down, the next time that person is there, they're not getting the club. And they're going to be rolling the ball. I'm not putting them in timeout. I'm just going to let them roll the ball. She's listening and following directions. She can have the club when it's her turn. But this one here, sorry, Susan, was not, kept walking around with that club.
Child.
You are. So she just doesn't get the club. But everybody else can have the club. Everybody. So like I said, it can be a group, it can be a person, it can be a class. But as soon as you take that club away the first time, they're going to get it because they want it, because they don't want to roll the ball again. They want to hit it. So it really does work. So catch it quickly. Don't feel sorry for them. Give them a warning. Catch it quickly because it will work, and then they'll come right back in. If you have somebody, of course, who's really not going to be safe and you don't trust them to be safe, that's a timeout. And then whether they come back or not is your protocol. I only had 1 or 2, and I was inner city, and they knew. They also knew your tone as a teacher. My tone is different in the golf lesson, in the first tee lesson, than it is when we're bowling. Safety-wise, they know I'm going to look at them.
I warned them from the start.
You warn them from the start.
I'm going to be very strict on this.
Exactly, and I did the same thing. And they know they can't mess around in this one, or they're done. They know that. And that's your tone, and that's what you're setting. So, does everybody feel they could teach this now?
Yes.
You can be safe.
Do these come, because I have...
Good. Yes, no.
With it?
The,
Okay.
the wall stops don't come with it.
Okay.
I
like that.
You can get, these are kind of cool. We got these, Benna, where did we get the wall?
NASCO.
Oh, it was NASCO.
Yeah, we used to get them at Sport Time, but a little different, but they stopped carrying them, so now it's NASCO. And I have some information to get us like a 20% discount. They're kind of pricey. They're like $60, $70 for the set.
Set of 6. But you can use it all year long. You just keep putting different things in there. So the shoulder folders work too. So the ones that sit over cones, but they only have 2 in them.
How many sets do you need? Just one? One set of 1 through 6?
I never used these when I taught. And I might not have that many things for the kids out to read when I'm teaching. I wouldn't. So the shoulder folder to me would be just fine because I would want at least the core value maybe and the golf skill that they're learning at each station.
And that's a really good point, because some of the things that happens with teachers a lot of times is there's too many objectives for the 30-minute lesson and the 45, 50 kids you have at a time. So we narrow it to 3 objectives, and so it may be repetitive. Maybe there's the word and a picture and so they, depending on their learning style, you're presenting the information in a variety of ways, so one of them will pick up. But I would go with Debbie is not having TMI, which is then they walk away not knowing anything, and you want them to walk away knowing the core of the lesson.
So the shoulder folder might be enough. We're using these to help teach you because we're here. This is more of a teaching tool for this than anything. So, for example, the first station when we start practicing would be putting, and this would be the cue for putting, okay? And this is just a core value you haven't seen yet, so that's why I have it in here. Just so as you do all the stations, you're gonna see all the core values again. This is just a reminder of the 5 layers of safety, okay? And then this is, learning by doing is one of the ways we teach the first ENSP program. So it's student-centered and it's movement-centered, less talking. I'm talking too much right now. We want you to move, we want you to learn by doing. And that's what we do with the First T program, with the National School Program. So easy to do on the first lesson. The first one we did, the K1 lesson 1, the warm-up was safety, and you're moving without balls, without clubs out. So you just get them there and you get them going. You do your locomotor skills, you go from a mat to a hoop, right? A mat to a hoop, so you can just get them right in there. Do you have to tell them anything? You know, when I say go, get to the mat, get to the hoop. Okay, and then when I say go again, do whatever locomotor skills and find another one. Point to your partner. So you get them going and experience it and then fold in all the information you want them to have. So I didn't tell you everything in K1 Lesson 1. I didn't tell you the healthy habit, the golf skill, and the core value right up front. We did some stuff, I stopped. I added respect, we stopped. I added this, we stopped, you know. So you're same when you're teaching these lessons. Get them moving as much as possible, talk as little as possible, pull them together when you need to pull them together. You can do it as they're all out if it's working. You know, some of you have your system down where you blow the whistle and they look at you and they freeze and they can hear you from way down there. And it works. Some of you it doesn't, or it depends on where you're at. Every once in a while you'll need to bring them all back in and sit them down to give them something and then send them all back out again. But one of the ways we are teaching this curriculum is by learning by doing. And we'll go through the other ways as we do some of the stations.
Oh, how's that hold up with wind? Is it weight?
You'd have to weight it down in the wind.
Okay.
Same with some of the equipment. Those flag stickies blow a little bit, so you might need to weight them.
They have,
There is a, go ahead.
yeah,
Yep.
depending on what equipment you get, we have 2 suppliers if you have this program and you've had it for a while. The other equipment supplier was what we've used for the past 10, 12 years. It's yellow, red, blue equipment called Snag. This is a new equipment provider. Obviously, the colors are different. Targets are very similar. With this equipment, there's little spikes that you can weigh this down, or
You
put
can
this
try
in
to stick
and
something,
pull
see?
it down, and also those. Targets
So
have
these
little
covers.
Yeah.
spiky things.
Yeah.
Thinking of safety, if you have children that
starting
pull them out,
point,
or
you know,
somebody's had
right.
it out, you might want
And then
to figure out
eventually
another
try to
plan,
go.
but there's
So
some things they've added.
Okay.
The other set came with a container like this that you stuck the flag in and you filled the container with water.
Yes, or sand,
Which
right.
kept it weighted.
Yep.
And you can choose, I mean, depending, I'll say it this way, depending on who's funding the program for you, they may want a certain type, because this is, for example, PGA Tour branded equipment. PGA Tour, if there's a PGA Tour tournament in your market, Arnold Palmer Invitational, and they are sponsoring the program, then they may want the branded equipment, which, you know, the curriculum works for either, both, it's interchangeable, so. But if you had a preference, or they asked, and you're familiar with the other and wanted that, then you can probably choose that too.
I like this better. Of course, I haven't used that yet, but the yellow one she's talking about, it, like if you hit the side of it, it twirls, and then the person from the other side is twirling, and he's trying to putt from the other side. So I think these
The
are
flag stickies, you mean?
Yeah, we've just introduced this year. That's how new this is to our portfolio, call it that, of equipment. And so we're hearing pros and cons from people that are familiar and now are being introduced to this. So just depending on your individual preference. And that's the main difference is the 2 targets. That target, if you have the other equipment, it's a blow up target, which the bladder can be kind of a pain to blow up and hold air. And then this flag target is a cylinder with a flag that comes, so it's still a 360-degree target, so you can come at it from any angle. So, yeah.
I just found the whole equipment, the one that you said, the red
Mhm.
So,
The blue,
yeah. Obviously I didn't know how to use it, so I've been like modifying all the activities on my own, so now I know the flag goes on the yellow.
Yeah.
Similar to
Yeah. And then just, the other thing is, this is designed where you can poke it all the way through into the ground too, as a way to hold this target down if you're outside. Forgot about that.
So how are we doing? Do y'all need like a 5-minute restroom break and a water break real quick?
Yes.
I'm seeing some yeses.